everyone, so today I've come to the survey on a boat that we're selling. I thought I'd bring you along to show you what happens on a survey, why people have surveys and exactly what they're looking for. So that's the boat behind me. It's just come out the water now and then they're going to move it into their spot. So we get underneath when it's all off the crane and chocked up, and you can see what people are looking for and what it looks like underneath. So these are the pads that they put under. So you can just see there's a bit of wood. It takes the pressure and stand there. So that these aren't actually going to take any weight. They just stop the boat from falling over left to right. The guys that are taking the weight are these ones here, so that one, so on the centre line. So they'll just put it in the correct place, exactly the same each side, and then they'll be able to drop the crane straps and then drive the crane away. So all sat down in a spot. They're happy with the chocks and the supports. So just taking the travel hoist away now, and then they'll take it back over and get it out of the way. You're probably wondering where the travel hoist steering wheel is or who's controlling it. It's all done by remote control by the guy standing there. So he can look both sides, wireless remote, and he's got full control. So now we're allowed under the boat. The travel hoist is gone. First thing we're going to look at the anti-foul. So basically, if you don't know what anti-foul is, this is a paint that tries to stop the growth of underwater creatures and moss, and you see the barnacles, but obviously it doesn't stop all the barnacles, you can see there. So this has been in the water for just over a year, and this is how much barnacles that you get. It will change depending on what water you're in, where you are, what marina it is, how much tide you get through. So there's so many different factors that change how much growth you can get and what anti-foul is best to use. So what they'll do now, they'll scrape all of this. This will be sanded, and then they'll put another 3 coats of anti-foul, so that'll be ready for the year. So another thing that you're going to look for, or a surveyor is going to look for when they're underneath the boat, is something called osmosis. So what it looks like is like a blister that you find in your skin, and if you burst them, you can burst them. If you push hard enough, it will smell of vinegar. So this isn't it won't cause the boat to sink as such. No boat has ever sunk with osmosis, but it attacks the structure. It isn't a good thing, and also it will decrease the value of the boat. So the only way to get rid of it is to peel the boat, let it dry out. So on a place like this in Dubai, it's fine, you can keep it outside and it should dry pretty quickly. If you're in the UK or something, it needs to be in a tent, or they put hot packs on it, and then it draws all the moisture out, and then they need to lay up the boat again. So what causes that is the boat being in the water too long, and it's just drawn too much moisture. So the way that you can kind of stop that happening is to take the boats out all the time, keep the anti-foul, and try and keep the moisture levels of the hull low as possible. So obviously a surveyor will be doing a much more detailed, in-depth inspection of the boat, but we're just going to go around quickly and show you exactly what they're looking for and what you're looking for in maintenance as well. So this is a bathing platform on a hydraulic, so that's just down at the moment, so it's easier to get on and off the boat when it's out of the water. So you should be looking at all the joints here, all the bearings, the propellers, and you've got the trim tabs as well. So as I said earlier, on the bow thruster you've got anodes. Here you've got anodes as well, so you've got some on the trim tabs, some on the rudders, the stern thruster as well. So we're getting closer to that. You can have a look, and I'll show you what else you'll be looking for in the rudders and also on the propellers. So again, these are the trim tabs. We've got another anode here. This one is pretty worn, so this one will need to be replaced. This one has probably been the one that's been attacked the most, so it's doing its job. If it will look brand new, we know that something was wrong, or it's not earthed, or it's not set properly. So there's one on each side. The underwater lights look fine, they're all working, so we know that's good. We'll test them out in the water as well. And then here we've got the rudder, so we've got another anode here, and then we've got one on the propellers as well. So looking at the propellers, there's a couple of ways to check it. So we need to see the colour, so if it was pink, we know that's not a good thing. Also the sound, so if they tap a hammer, you get a certain sign of a ring. If it was a dud, then you know that those propellers are kind of towards the end of their life, and you need to replace them before they start kind of chipping or breaking. The further back we go, we've got the shaft here. We've got another anode for the shaft, because this is also a metal that gets attacked and it's expensive. You've got the brackets here. These all have little bearings inside, so they will need to be checked. Normally you can do that just by wiggling it. If you wiggle it enough, there's no movement, which is a good sign. So they're all fine, and the same as up here as well. You'll see the rubber bearing in there, so that looks all good. But all of this stuff needs to get checked. So you normally check this, you check the colour and the shaft, you check the anode of the shaft here. You can see it's moved slightly, bit of a worn, but that's fine, it's not spinning. And this is fine as well. So everything looks fine here, propeller looks good, just needs a bit of a polish, the same as the shaft. So they're the major things that you're going to look at when the boat is out the water. Mostly everything else on the survey can be done in the water. So on the sea trial that we've had already, we test the engines, the RPM, if they're smoking, the temperature of them. But you can't look at the underwater, obviously, unless you lift the boat out. So the whole point of this is to check the boat. It's the last bit of the survey, and it's kind of the most important, because most of the expensive stuff's down here, apart from the engines. So that's what a boat looks like out the water. So I thought today we'll do a little bit of a different video, show you the insides of a boat sail and the survey and how it comes out the water if you've never seen it before. So I hope you enjoyed it, and like, subscribe, and keep checking the channel for some new videos, new boat tours, and more videos like this. See you next time.